Greetings, tax tip lovers, and welcome to this week's top property tax tactics in just 5 minutes. Come, gather around people to ponder the story of Geoff, who worked hard his entire life and decided to sell one of his businesses, Geoff Co., back in March of this year, ahead of a market downturn which he was convinced was about to happen. There must be a good chance he had the right thinking, just maybe the wrong timelines, but that's likely just a function of current reality. Anyway, back to the story. Geoff, assisted by his long-standing accountant and good friend, Barbara, sold his business for 2.6 million. As Barbara, his accountant, pointed out, Geoff Co. was entitled to business asset disposal relief, which is still known as entrepreneurs relief to most people, at 10% on the first £1 million of sale proceeds and CGT of 20% on the balance, so the total tax payable was £420,000. Geoff had paid accountant Barbara handsomely over many years and naturally assumed that her lack of tax planning advice meant none was available, so he paid the taxman through gritted teeth, blissfully unaware that now his assets were in cash another 40%, that's £872,000 in Geoff's case, would be due to HMRC when he dies. And as Geoff is 68 and not in the best of health, he's naturally worried about COVID-19 and is planning in case the worst happens. Happily, Geoff stumbled on one of my previous videos where I talk about kids inheriting 60% of dad's lifetime's work. Geoff called, we chatted. We explained to Geoff that up to the point he sold his business, he had 100% business property relief, which meant that if he had died, his family should inherit his business with no IHT. Well, all that's changed, and rather than rub salt into Geoff's very open wounds around the several tax planning opportunities which had been available pre-sale, we decided our focus should be on Albert Einstein's perspective that creativity is intelligence having fun. Given Geoff's poor health, we cautioned against traditional forms of estate planning, such as gifts and trusts, which may take 7 years before becoming free from inheritance tax. We talked to Geoff about his tax planning options, of which there are several, and the one he liked best involved the use of UK legislation originally introduced 44 years ago, which meant that Geoff could get back to the position with which he was familiar and comfortable. Geoff wanted the comfort of an established estate planning solution, so working with his independent financial advisor, we focused on business property relief, BPR, which was originally introduced in the 1976 Finance Act. New investments into BPR qualifying shares usually take 2 years to become exempt from inheritance tax. However, the good news for Geoff is that there's a 3-year window during which some or all of the proceeds resulting from the sale of a BPR qualifying business can be reinvested in BPR qualifying assets. Replacement relief, as it's known, provides a window of 3 years post-binding contract for sale of the business to reinvest some or all of the proceeds in BPR qualifying shares, which meant he could reclaim all or some of the sale tax. Geoff talked to his financial advisor, who made a recommendation based on Geoff's objectives and attitudes to risks, etc., and Geoff decided to invest £2 million into a BPR qualifying investment, accepting there are significant risks, but comforted that he had access to his funds. As Geoff said, the taxman would have got 40%, and now he won't. Because Geoff's investment qualifies for replacement relief, his new investment should be exempt from inheritance tax from day one. This means that on his death, he expects to be able to leave the entire investment to his daughters free from inheritance tax. Better still, Geoff was able to reclaim £300,000 from HMRC, or 71% of the sale tax. Well, that was Geoff's story, the choice Geoff made, and it's not right for everyone, of course. I'm not saying you should do it, but it might be an option to consider. That said, there are other ways of achieving a similar outcome, and it's time to take action to sort your property tax planning, and here's how. You can do nothing and stay in the exact same place and pay a shed load of tax unnecessarily, or you can follow the link above for a free power hour review with property tax experts who are ex-PwC and ex-HMRC and will make your property tax planning like it was our own. All right, stay bright. Catch you again for breakfast next week. Ta-ra!